new here, thank you so much for choosing to watch this video. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button. My name is Patrick, and in this video I'm going to be talking about 5 ugly truths about freelancing. Whether you are a writer, whether you are a graphics designer, whether you're a social media manager, whatever kind of whatever field that you find yourself in, whatever job that you do, if you decide to become a freelancer or go into freelancing, I think it is important that I tell you these few things. People decide to go into freelancing for so many reasons. So for some, it could just be that they find it really difficult to work within the confines of a super structured environment like the one you find in the 9 to 5. For others, they prefer to work with multiple brands, have multiple clients rather than to stick with one job. While for some others, they just want to have control over their time. So people go into freelancing for diverse reasons. If you want to work with multiple brands, if you want to work at your own pace, if you don't want to work in a structured environment, whatever reason it is for you, go for it. But one thing you should know is that freelancing is not the bed of roses. It has a lot of disadvantages, and these disadvantages are really pervasive when you are just starting out. The first thing to know is that when you are in freelancing, other freelancers will tell you how much they are earning, and trust me, it will almost make you cry. I have met a lot of freelancers. I have a lot of friends who are in freelance, and when they tell me what they are making, I'm surprised. I can't match it together, because this person, you know what they do, you know what they can do, and then they are telling you this is what they are making, and you're wondering, are they lying to you, or are they trying to prove a point, or is it real? And then you're wondering that, okay, so maybe you have not started making multiple figures as a freelancer, and then you're wondering that you do a lot of good job, you do a lot of cool, great work. Why is it that you're not making as much? Why is it that you're not boasting about 7 figures, 6 figures? So it happens like that. Some people will make more than you, some people will make less than you. But one thing you should know is that don't ever compare yourself with other people. So I recently met someone who has they were telling me how much they made. They were telling me the kind of brands they work with, the brands that they are working in currently, a very huge brand. And then I saw the work the person did, and it wasn't really encouraging. I don't know how to say it. It wasn't really encouraging. But I'm wondering, how are you working with this brand, with this kind of work? So whether the person is telling a lie, whether the person is not telling a lie, I don't know. So it happens like that. Sometimes you might feel sad, you might even begin to feel depressed that you're working so hard, you're putting yourself out there, and you're not making up to the amount other freelancers claim to be making. What I want you to know is, don't compare yourself with others. Just continue to develop yourself and continue to put yourself out there, and you will get to a point when you eventually begin to make much more than you expect. The second thing to know is that the people around you will try to offer you real jobs. Okay, so I cannot count the number of times that my mom has said something about me getting a real job, just because I don't wake up too early, I don't do 9 to 5, I don't wake up and rush to work, I'm in control of my own time, and so on. So if you work from home and you are with your parents, they don't really understand the kind of work that we do in our generation, especially when it comes to remote working and freelancing. Some people that know you might try to offer you jobs, might try to advise you to get a real job. A friend told me how somebody who she really admired in our church asked her what she was doing, and she said she's a YouTuber, and occasionally she does red carpet hosting. And then the person she really admired said, "Oh, it looks like I'm going to help you find a job, because I don't understand this one that you are saying." So many times people around you will try to offer you real jobs, because sometimes they don't understand what you're doing. Sometimes they understand what you're doing, but people tell me, you should work in a 9 to 5, you're a career person, you're supposed to be a career person, what are you doing with your time, and things like that. But all that matters is that you believe in what you're doing. All that matters is that you're not wasting time, you're working hard. Number 3, creative skills will only take you so far. Okay, you need marketing skills. So I said in my last video here that if you feel awful about marketing yourself, you have to start getting used to it, because as much as you do good work, as much as you put your work out in the open, you also need to be able to talk about what you do. You also need to be able to market yourself. There are so many people doing what you're doing, and so what makes it different is not only the work that you do, but how often you let people know what you do. And I also made a suggestion in that video that if you cannot talk about yourself, if you have an issue with talking about yourself, if you have talking about yourself phobia, then what you can do is volunteer to work with other people, work on other projects, and do absolutely good work, so that the people you are working with will become your marketers, right? So they will begin to refer you to other people. That has worked for me and is still working for me. But it is really important that you learn how to market yourself, because creative skills will not cut it anymore. Number 4, you're going to find it really hard to get clients or to work with brands, because you are, especially when you're starting out, because people don't know you. So it's best to let agencies or companies know what you do, so that when they're outsourcing projects, they can outsource projects to you. So what many people do is that when they are leaving a 9 to 5 to go into freelancing, they usually poach their company's clients, they usually poach their employer's clients. And no, I don't agree with that. So sometimes you might leave, and then a client might decide to follow you because they are fond of you, they are used to your work, and they would rather prefer to work with you alone than to work with other people in the organization. And that's fine, that's their decision. But I don't think it is good enough to poach your employers. I don't think it's good enough to send an email blast to your employer's clients, letting them know that you've left, and expecting that they will follow you. Don't forget that you also get whatever it is that you do. But the best thing, or one of the best things to do, is to be extremely useful to your employer, that when you eventually leave, they are still calling on you to work on projects at your own time. And finally, you should know that you will always be busy doing things that may not produce monetary rewards immediately. So if you are a freelancer and you are off on your own, you will need to create content. You need to create content on social media. You need to maybe create content on YouTube. You need to write articles. So when you're writing your blog post, you're not publishing that blog post and then receiving credit alerts. You're not working for anybody again. You're working for yourself. So sometimes you'll be doing a lot of work that does not produce any monetary value, does not produce any profit, does not produce any credit alert at that point in time. But all that matters is that you continue to be diligent at what you do. You continue to focus on the goal. That is why it is very essential to have a goal you are working towards at every point in time. It is very essential to have a vision for your freelance. So that's the 5 points I want to make. So what I'm going to say next, what I'm going to ask next, what I'm going to explain next is that should you continue as a freelancer, or should you build a solid business? My answer to that is it's up to you. So there are people who decide to wait for the next project and wait for the next project all through their lives. There are other people who decide to gather all the experience in the marketplace, gather all the experience in the 9 to 5, start freelancing, and then eventually build a business. And if that's what you want to do as well, go for it. But what you need to consider is that what is sustainable at the end. So if you continue to work as a freelancer, will you continue? Because if you're working as a freelancer for the rest of your life, it means that the work revolves around you. So if you are not well enough to maybe create a content for a brand at that point, it means that you're not going to be receiving the project, and it means that you're not going to be receiving the job. But if you have a business on the other hand, and you have people who are working with you, you can be free of struggling every day, working every day. So you can get a contract, give it to your team, and everybody's working fine. So like I said, it's your choice to make. So that is all on this video. I hope that you found this video valuable. If you have anything you want to add, you can let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at FisayoPatrick1. I will see you in the next video.